Good morning. My name is Lucas Dorian, and I have the honor of serving as the coordinator of the Alabama Cooperative Baptist Fellowship. And I know your minds are already turning towards lunch, so I promise not to keep you long. But I am grateful for Rhonda and the rest of her team for inviting me to be here this day to represent Alabama CBF. Today we are acknowledging and celebrating Tripp's 10th anniversary as your pastor, and that's a big deal. When I talked to Rhonda about what she might want me to say in these moments, she said, well, be brief. And she said, but maybe talk a little bit about what anniversaries mean. And so I'll spend just a second on that. You know, in our day-to-day lives, we come in and out of our churches and we encounter our ministers and we find them to be friendly and we hope that they're wise. And when they stand up and when they preach and when they teach and when they pray, that they inspire us and connect us in some way to the divine. But as we're having our day-to-day, there's always somebody who's having the best day of their life or maybe the worst day of their life. And it's in those moments that we know the power our ministers carry with them, because they are the ones who stand with us when we welcome life into this world, when we dedicate our babies, when we walk through the waters of baptism, when we leave this life, when we are standing at the graveside of someone we deeply love. It is our ministers who walk on this holy ground with us when almost no one else can. They are there. And so when we hit these anniversary moments, when we say thank you for your service, it is good to look back and remember all the ways in which Tripp has been in those holy moments with you. And remember also that God was there too. And as you look to the next decade, as you look to what's next, remembering that your ministers, every time they walk into a space with you, that God too is present with you always. As a representative of Alabama CBF, I want to thank Tripp for his contributions to the work of Alabama CBF. He has served in our governing board. He has been our moderator. He actually served on the search committee that identified, interviewed, and named me as the new coordinator. So I'm particularly thankful for that, Tripp. And in moments like this, we often will present somebody with a decorative bowl or a plaque or a resolution we've slacked onto a piece of wood. But my wife suggested that you and Catherine might enjoy dinner at Acre. And so we have a gift certificate here for you, Tripp, and I will offer that to you in just a moment. But congratulations on behalf of Alabama CBF. And thank you, Auburn First Baptist Church, for sharing this amazing minister with us all these years.
Well, thank you, Lucas, for those good words and for joining us today as we celebrate Tripp. Auburn First Baptist Church is a place that strives to love, serve, and be community to anyone that walks through its doors. And we have a pastor that helps us do that. He encourages our understanding and growth of our calling, and he helps us to identify ways of service to live into the needs of others. We give thanks for his guidance as we tackle the big issues before us, and we give thanks for his attention to detail in the small matters that, if left unattended, would challenge us and draw our attention away from our purpose. Tripp reminds us that we are a faith family, and he models how to care for each other. If you've been around long enough to experience hurt or grief, trouble or confusion, I expect you also have been at the receiving end of Tripp's kindness, his compassion, and his prayers. Along with Tripp, we got Catherine, JD, and Hunter, and they too have enriched the life of this church. They were 6 and 3 when they arrived, and now they are in the 11th and the 8th grades. They've sacrificed their time with Tripp so that he could be with us and see to our needs. So our heartfelt thanks to each of you for sharing your loved one with us. when there were times when I'm sure you wanted his attention. We'd also like to give a word of welcome to Tripp's parents, Kathy and Milton, and to Catherine's mom, Kitty, who are with us today. So thank you for joining us. Our friend Dale Peterson cannot be with us this morning, but we are excited to announce that we have commissioned him to write an anthem celebrating and in honor of Tripp's 10th anniversary as our pastor. In response to the commission, Dale said, "What a privilege and honor to be asked to write an anthem for my former boss, my beloved pastor, and my very dear friend. My hope is that this anthem can reflect even a small part of the appreciation and love that I have for our pastor and our friend, Tripp Martin." So the Personnel Committee and the Search Committee that brought Tripp to us 10 years ago, and I'm sure all of you, we give thanks to Tripp for his commitment to this church, and with eager excitement, we anticipate many more years together to continue the mission of Auburn First Baptist Church. And at the end of the service, you are all invited to join us in the courtyard for a gathering moment to express your thanks to Tripp and his family.
You can remain standing for the benediction. But first, there really is no way to say thank you for our time in Auburn. It has meant so much to me, to Catherine and our family. You all mean so much to us. And we are thankful for this shared journey that we have together. I'm so grateful to the Personnel Committee and all that they have done. I'm sure the Social Committee for the gathering moment. Lucas, thank you for making the drive. That was so kind of you. And to anybody else who had a hand in today, and the anthem is a gift, I cannot express what that means. So thank you so much. Most of all, we are just thankful to be here in a patient church, and an empathetic church, and in a forgiving church. So hear these words that send us forth, that we go now to love God and to love neighbor. And as we go in the same ways that we came, formed by the deep love of God, surprised by the grace of Jesus the Christ, and held by the fellowship of the Spirit, which binds us together as the church, wherever we might go.